Hi, in this video we will be discussing probability using the classical approach formula and the combination probability. So the formula for classical approach on probability is PA, which can be read as probability of A happening, is equals to NA, which can be read as number of possible events A outcome, and NS, which can be read as number of possible outcomes in the sample space. So we have example here on how to compute probability. In rolling a dice, what is the probability that it will have a result of 3? Imagine dice has 6 sides. So therefore, we are only searching for 3. So we can say that probability of A happening is equals to the number that we are searching is the result for 3, which means it is only representation of one side. So our NA will be 1. And our sample space, since dice has 6 sides, so we will have our sample space of 6. So we will divide 1 over 6. The result will be 0.166 or round off into 0.17. Since it is in the decimal form, it's not in the percentage, all we have to do is to multiply it by 100. So we can have the result of 16.6% or 17%. And now we will be discussing the combination probability. Combination is the arrangement or grouping of objects without taking into consideration their order. Combination probability is much more complex and complicated because it is a combination of 2 or more factors. So if I have 2 balls and 2 rectangular objects put in a box, and if I will have to draw one time, the probability that I will be drawing a ball is 25 because there are 4 objects and I will draw one time. So the probability of drawing one ball is 1/4 or 25%. In combination probability is different. If I have 2 balls and I have 4 rectangular objects and I will have to number it from 1 to 4, then I have to consider the probability of drawing numbers and drawing their shape of object. So we need to consider everything and to anticipate everything by knowing the sample space. So probability combination, so combination probability will dive in. Now the formula for combination probability is C NR equals to N factorial divided by R factorial, close open parenthesis, N minus R factorial. N stands for the object taken or population, and R is for the time. If we will take this example, in a box, there are 5 blue balls and 5 yellow balls. If 2 balls are drawn from the box, what is the probability of drawing? Situation A, 2 yellow balls, and situation B, drawing one blue ball and one yellow ball. So to find the n, the value for n would be, since n stands for the population or the object, so we have 5 blue balls and 5 yellow balls, that is 10. And for the r is time, referring to the draw. So our r is 2. Now, we need to solve for the situation A. But first, we will find the sample space of this problem. So how to solve the sample space? We can have C, n is 10, r is 2, is equals to 10 factorial, because the value of n is 10 and r, the value for r is 2 factorial, open parenthesis n, that is 10 minus 2 for the r, close parenthesis, factorial. Now, if happen that you see the symbol, it represents factorial, which means the number joined with its symbol should be converted into 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, up to the lowest value of the number. For example, if we have 5 factorial, we can convert that into 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now for this, 10 factorial divided by 2 factorial, so 10 minus 2 would be 8 factorial. Equals to, we will convert this 10 factorial into 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now we have 2. So 2 factorial will be 2 times 1. Close open parentheses, we have 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay. So, you have the choice if you will have to multiply all these numbers or by cancelling with the same denominator, numbers below. So, for example, if you will choose to multiply all these numbers, so we will have a result of 3,628,800 over, so 2 times the value of these numbers multiplied will be 40,320. Now, we can have 3,628,800. 2 times 40,320, that is 80,640. If you will have to divide 3,628,800 to 80,640, the result will be 45. Now, we will try the cancellation process. This one. So, if we will have to cancel 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we have remaining numbers of 10 times 9 and 2 times 1. Next, we will have to multiply 10 times 9 will be 90, and 2 times 1 is equals to 2. The value will be 45. If you will observe, we have similar result. So our combination here, or sample space, will be 45. Now we have the value for n is equals to 10 and r is 2, and the sample space is 45, or the combination is 45. Now we can go on and proceed to solving the number of A happening, which is 2 yellow balls. So NA, let A be the event of drawing 2 yellow balls. To solve, we will be utilizing the formula this C represents yellow balls, and this second C will be representing 5 blue balls. So N here, N for the yellow balls is 5, and R is 2. N here is equals to 5 and R is equals to 0, because we will find the probability of drawing 2 yellow balls. Since this second C represents blue balls, we have no tendency of drawing blue balls. That's why R is equals to 0. Now, if we will have to substitute the formula for combination, n factorial divided by r factorial, n minus r factorial, times n factorial divided by r factorial, close open parenthesis, n minus r factorial. So we will have to substitute the value. N is equals to 5, and r will be 2 factorial, close open parenthesis, 5 minus 2 factorial, times 5 factorial divided by, since r is 0, 0 factorial divided by 5 minus 0 factorial. We can simplify this by 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 3 factorial, times 5 factorial divided by 0 factorial times 5 factorial. We can have then, since 0 times 5 will be 0, then 0, any number, numerator, that will be divided into 0 will be 0. So we will have 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 3 factorial. Then we will have to expand this one into 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 2 factorial, that is 2 times 1, and 3 factorial, that is 3 times 2 times 1. So to make this shorter, we will have to cancel this out. 3, 2, 1. Then we will have 5 times 4 and 2 times 1. So the value for 5 times 4 is 20, and 2 times 1 is 2. So we can divide 20 into 2. So we have the number of A happening will be 10. Now we have the value for number of A happening, which is 10. Now we will erase to give some space for the second situation. So now, we have already found the number of A happening, which is 10. And we will also be solving for B, event B happening, which is N, B. So we will let B be the event of drawing one blue ball and one yellow ball. So, following the same formula, N, B is equals to, or the number of event B happening will be C NR times C NR, which means N here will be 5 and R will be 1 because we have the probability of the situation, one blue ball, and the same with the yellow ball, we have N is equals to 5 and R is equals to 1 because we always also need to anticipate that we will have a one yellow ball. Next, we can have 5 factorial divided by 1 factorial times 5 minus 1 factorial times, with this one, 5 factorial divided by 1 factorial because R is 1 on this combination. 5 minus 1 factorial. So we can simplify this by 5 factorial, 1 factorial times 4 factorial. The same thing with the second combination, we have 5 factorial divided by 1 factorial times 4 factorial. So, we can derive into 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by, since we have 1, automatically 1 times 4 will be 4, so 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 1 times 4 will be 4, so we can have 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So we can cancel this out into, cancel this one, cancel this one, cancel this one, cancel, cancel, cancel. So we have 5 times, also we need to cancel this one, cancel this one, cancel, cancel, cancel. 4, 3, 2, 1. You need to cancel. So the remaining 5 will be written here. Then so 5 times 5 will be 25. So the number of event B happening will be 25. So our next step is to find the probability of A happening, which is NA equals to NS, or the sample space. So since we have the value for the NA 10 and for the sample space is 45, so we can now have the probability of A happening. So we have 0.22, or we will convert this into percentage value, so we will have to multiply this into 100, so we can say that it is 22% of probability that you will draw 2 yellow balls. Now, for the probability of second situation B, NB divided by NS. NB has the value of 25 divided by 45. So the result will be 0.55. So since it is decimal, we will convert this into percentage form. We can have times 100. So the probability of event B happening of drawing one blue ball and one yellow ball would be 55%. Or specifically, that is 55.55%. So that's how you will solve for the combination probability. We need to consider all factors that will be included on our formula.
Hi, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more.